Hello, welcome to Murkey's AR Automatic Rifleman guide. Now in the past I've made guides about playing medic or playing squad leader because I feel these roles are often neglected or people are reticent to play them in game because they think they don't know enough or it's tricky, whereas AR, everyone wants to have a go with AR. It's the opportunity to shoot lots of bullets and kill lots of people, so there's always someone willing to pick it up. But since that's the case, I figure it's also important that you know how to use it well. Now the AR is available as of 0.95 to squads of 4 members or more, and you can request it providing no one has it selected in the spawn menu from APCs, supply crates and your main base. And you can left click as standard to get the scope or right click for iron sights. So without further ado, I will talk about the AR's role in the squad and then tips and tricks on shooting people. Okay, so your primary task when you're playing the AR in your squad is you have more firepower, you can put down more rounds more accurately than probably anyone else in your squad. So your job is to put down a lot of fire and also cover your boys. You can put down a lot of not only lethal fire but also suppressive fire, covering fire. So your role primarily is to cover your squad as they move, suppress anything you need to, and then when the shit hits the fan, be ready to kill people basically. And so to that end, when you're moving with the squad, I'd recommend you move towards the back of the squad, even possibly being the last person, in which case you can cover the rear of your squad's movement, and then when things get a bit interesting, you're safe. If you're taking point and you're the first person to go down, that means there's no one there to return a lot of fire straight away, which is what you should be doing. Whereas if you're in the back and your squad goes down, you can return fire past them and hopefully let your boys fall back or flank, that kind of thing. Now, since your squad mates are counting on you for this cover fire and accurate lethal fire, you should always be sure that you have reasonably full magazine. Let your squad know when your magazine is running low, or when your ammunition status overall is pretty low. And most important of all, let your squad know if you're reloading. If they're crossing a road and you need to stop and reload, say, "Hold up guys, I'm reloading." And once you're up, say, "Up, loaded," and then they can move across. Because if you're reloading, your squad basically doesn't have an AR, which is pretty bad. Okay, the second section is about killing people. So as I mentioned, you've got a lot of rounds you can put down before your mag runs dry in comparison to riflemen, for example, and you've also got a pretty accurate gun. Now the deviation on the AR rifle is usually 8 seconds for maximum accuracy. So if you've been jumping around, prone diving, running around, swinging your aim around, and it's at maximum deviation, then you have to wait 8 seconds, in theory, for absolute maximum accuracy. Now your deviation is not affected by firing. So what that means is if you're firing, you don't lose accuracy. So you can keep firing and firing and firing, and your deviation won't spread. So my advice to you would be start shooting after maybe 6 seconds if you've been running around, and then you'll see as the next 2 seconds go by, your spread will go in and you'll be more and more accurate. And those first 2 seconds of fire will suppress the enemy, make them think about what they're doing. They won't be able to fire back effectively, and then after 2 seconds, hopefully, you should get accuracy and kill the enemy. Now, while you do have a lot of rounds in the magazine for a lot of these AR rifles, you don't want to be wasting ammo, and there's no need to have to stop and reload in a hot situation. So only shoot when you need to, and I'd say shoot in controlled bursts. So 3 to 5 rounds is usually ideal. You want to shoot fairly quickly, ba 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 ba. It only takes 1 round to suppress someone, and if you're a good shot, 1 or 2 to kill them. So there's no point spraying and praying. You've got a very accurate gun, so use it in nice controlled bursts. Now, if you're firing over about 300 meters, it's worthwhile leading the shot. So if they're running from on your screen left to right, then you might want to think about having a sight just to the right of them, and you want to be firing a burst and have the burst end as they pass your crosshair. So that way the rounds will be in front of them and walk into them, and you'll stop firing as they pass, so you basically give them an envelope of death to walk right into. Now this next bit of advice is highly effective. It's very, very effective, but don't go crazy with it because you might end up pissing a lot of people off. Now, crouch spamming or cover spamming is very effective, and you are allowed to do it, but it's just a little bit cheap. But I would recommend trying it, especially if things get hot. Now, Obviously cover is very important in PR because you can get killed really easily, but if you have some enemy spotted or some contact and you hide behind some cover, you can aim roughly where you think they are, wait for your 6 to 8 seconds, and then stand up from behind the cover, and as you're standing up from behind the cover, start shooting. That way the second you're exposed, they'll have rounds coming down suppressing them. And you'll already be nice and accurate because you don't lose deviation from changing stance, from crouching to standing up, or from going prone to standing up. So you get some nice accurate fire on them straight away. So start firing, move up, ba 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 ba, and you'll get them really nice. And you can go crouched again or prone again, wait for your deviation, rinse and repeat. And that way, the only time you're exposed is when you're returning fire and your deviation is already settled. If you think there might be someone who's got eyesing up cover and has a sight on you, it might be worth shimmying to the left or right about half a meter just so they don't pop you in the head because they know where you're going to stand up. So if you're rinsing and repeating, make sure to change position occasionally, just a little bit. As for the kind of AR you want to use, I'd recommend scope. Unless you know you're going to be using lots of close quarters stuff, then go for the scope. It's really, really effective at range. Best thing a squad has normally for firing at range. And if someone comes close, you can just spray. Just spray at them, shoot from the hip, and don't worry about the scope. Finally, some general advice. Remember, you have material penetration on a lot of the materials in PR nowadays. So if someone's behind a tin fence, inside one of those crappy porta cabins, you have the AR, you don't have to worry about ammo, most likely. So put 10, 20, 30, 40 rounds inside a building, and you'll get anyone, hopefully, inside. Finally, ARs are really effective against soft-skinned vehicles, like techies, and pretty good against trucks and that kind of thing. Finally, there are some armoured vehicles, such as possibly the BRDM, that you can damage with ARs, even 5.56 stuff like the M249. You can mess up something like a BTR, possibly a BRDM, sorry, possibly a BTR. In the past, you could shoot the tyres and that would damage them. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, but you can always try shooting the tyres off a BTR, for example. That might do some damage. Finally, if one of your friendlies is hitting enemy armor with an AT, hat, lat, mines, IEDs, that kind of thing, and it's on fire, put some rounds down into it. Same for the chopper. Put some rounds into it, and if it's looking pretty wounded, you might be able to disable it, have it blow up faster, and kill the crew inside. So, if in doubt, shoot it, basically. So that's the AR. Big thanks to Lempo, one of my brethren from CATA, the Central Asia Treaty Alliance, in the official PRT. He ran the AR course that I just did today and gave me all these nice tips and advice. So thank you, and good hunting with your ARs in the future.